Alright, so I'm back, and today we are going to take a look at the Hasbro Motormaster. So this is part of the Combiner Wars, and here he is in his truck mode. As you can see, he's not entirely accurate because he doesn't have the trailer. But he is pretty good. Rolls very well. He's a retool of the Optimus, or the Optimus is a retool of him. I don't, chicken and the egg kind of scenario. You can take this piece here, you can fold it down if you want to, leave it up, whichever. I think technically it's supposed to be up. So yeah. Anyway, there's that. And then he does come with his weapon here. And you can take this, there's a little slot right here that you can plug into the side of the gun. And you just kind of plug it in there. Doesn't hold very well. You can plug it in there. That holds a lot better. No. Sorry, dog's being weird. It's a pretty good mold. I do like this. I don't like it as much in the alt mode as, say, the Fans Project Motormaster. I have him in robot mode. I'll show him off there, but I didn't really want to do the truck mode too. And while we're on the topic of the Fans Project one, I was going to do a re-review on him, but I got him in and somebody wanted him and they had something I really wanted, and I didn't necessarily need that figure again, so I'm not going to be looking at him again. They're getting packed up today. So anyway, it's a pretty decent truck. To transform him into robot mode, what you want to do is just come down here, move these panels here, out and around. Take these panels here, flip them up. Then you want to just split this assembly here around. And this will come back. There's slots right here and pegs right here. And they just kind of loosely tab into place. They hold well enough. They're not perfect, but they do hold well enough. So move these arms out. Move this camera back a little bit here. And then you want to take this leg assembly here. This whole waist comes down, locks into place. Straighten out the legs. Flip the feet down. Split the legs. This thing here will kind of come up here and just kind of stay out of the way. Fold the arms down, then they rotate around, down and around, and then you come here and you press down right there, and that will pull the head up. And there you go. Real simple transformation. And then of course you can take his gun here, plug it into his hand, take his sword here, and this will plug into this hand here. There you go. Just like so. And there you go. He's got a really great head sculpt. Pull him closer for that. That looks really G1 accurate. Cartoon accurate anyway. Pretty cool. Posability, his head is on a ball joint, so looks left and right, little side rocker, up, down, shoulders swivel up and down, ratcheted in and out, hinge at the elbow, waist swivels, legs ratchet up and down, in and out. There is a thigh rotation, ends at the knee, and then the foot does have a little bit of a rocker for transformation. And then his legs are designed for more of a wide stance, but it's the way the ratchets are, you can't really get those. It's because it's you see how they're kind of cut like this. So he's not quite there here. And then if you click the legs out, one click each, he ends up like this, and that's too far. So it's kind of unfortunate. They just didn't think that out very, very far. Other than that, I think he looks really good. I really like this robot mode. I think it looks just incredible. Scale-wise, here he is with the Seeker mold. And it works okay-ish. He shouldn't quite be that big in comparison to the Seekers, but, you know, it works. Here he is with the Springer mold. You see he's about a head taller than him. So, again, you know, yeah, he's a little bit more hollow than Springer, but, again, you know, when people say Hasbro figures are getting smaller, he's a head taller than a good-sized Voyager, so take that as you will. Here he is with the an MP car, and I actually think this scales very well with the MP cars. I think this works pretty well. Here he is with the Brainstorm, which is the same height as the iGear Seekers, and as you can see, he's about half a head taller, so he's actually bigger than the iGear Seekers. So he's a big boy, which is really nice. And then a couple other figures to compare him to. Here he is with the Combined Wars Silverbolt, and he is a head taller than Silverbolt. So this is really cool. I like it when the Decepticons are bigger than Autobots, because there are more Autobots than there are Decepticons in general. So it's nice when they can kind of balance out with at least size. Here he is with the Microblaze Onslaught. And you see they are about the same size. He does have a little bit more mass to him. But he still is a little bit heavier, but only by that much. And here he is with the Fans Project Motormaster. And, you know, it's one of those... This figure, all around, is a better figure designed, and that's coming from me, who bashed this figure to no end. But this is a better toy. This is a great figure, but this is the better toy, by far, because it's easier to transform, it's more fun to transform, and he just looks good in robot mode. I think this pulls off the cartoon Motormaster a lot better than he does. He pulls off more of a updated figure, and his joints and all that stuff hold together. They don't come out like these weird shoulder joints. And here he is with the Combiner Wars drag strip. So he's a lot bigger than his troops, but I think it does work out pretty well. So I'm going to flip drag strip over into arm mode real quick. But yeah, like I said, I think he works better than the Fans Project Menasor. That's why when somebody offered me a good deal for it, I wasn't going to say no, because I'm not the biggest fan of that set, and the Hasbro one seems to be better on a lot of levels, because I just have more fun with them. So all right, now let's get him into combine mode. So first thing you want to do is take his pistol out. It holds in all right. It could be better. So you take these two pieces off, and then you can take these, and you want to make sure that the longer pieces is pointed towards this handle here, and you just plug them in, and now it's a big sword. Then what you want to do here, and forgive me because I've actually only done this once, I wanted to get this review done as quickly as I can so I can finish packing up those Stunticons. So you flip the head back around. I'm going to take this piece here, this will fold down, just kind of get it out of the way, and then you want to rotate the waist around, and then rotate the legs to the side here. And you don't want them all the way in one direction or the other, but there's a tab right here, and there's a slot right there. So you want to get it kind of at an angle like this, and then this, once you get it right, that'll tab in, like so. Do the same thing over here. Now I don't have the rest of the Stunticons for this set, but we'll at least get an idea of what it looks like soon. Alright, so you do that, then you want to come up to the arms, and these will see, how do I do that? Comes around. Oh, no. Ah, there we go. Alright, so there's a peg right here. I'll plug into this slot right in there. So you want to pull this up, and I will just tab in like so. Then you flip the hand, and you flip it back. Now this doesn't hold in very well, and that's very disappointing for me. I really wish there's another locking mechanism somewhere. Like if this piece could come around and lock in right here, that would have been really awesome. So same thing over here. So rotate the arms around, and just plug them in. Flip this back, and then you want to open up this chest cavity here. You can flip his head up, and this whole chest assembly here will come up like so. Flip the horns up, and these are hard plastic, they're not that soft rubber like Superions. And you close the chest back up, because I don't have the black jacket, so I can't show off that. We will show that off once we get there, or once I get him. And then you want to just take this piece here, and this double hinges up, and then you can just leave it like that. So there you go. And we're going to rotate the camera up. And then you just take like a drag strip here, and just plug him into his arm. Take another drag strip here, plug that into his arm, and as you can see, that's, like I said, that's one of the things I really don't like, is I really wish these arms would kind of lock in a little bit better. And then you take Alpha Bravo here. Like I said, at least give us an idea of what it looks like. And put that in right there. No, wrong way. And there we have Menasor in robot mode, more or less. He's a little funky. I won't lie. He's got some weird proportions going on. Shoulders are a little bit too far back. But it works. You can take the sword here, and you can plug that into his hand. And there you go. So all in all, before I go into some combiner comparisons, posability wise, shoulder rotates. You got to watch out for that back piece. In and out, bicep swivel, double bend elbows, hand rotates due to it being on a peg. Thumb can kind of go in and out, and fingers can move in and out. Hips can swivel, and there's a little bit of in and out, and then the knees do bend, and the foot does rotate a little bit. And then the head is on a swivel, so it moves up and down. And it's also on a ball joint, and the horns are also posable. So he doesn't look quite right because he's not in. I'm just using a hodgepodge of characters to fill him out. But here he is with the Superion. And you see Superion to the head, not the antenna, is just a hair taller than him. So I still say this scale does work pretty well for combiners that are supposed to be near each other's size. Yeah, I know jets are bigger than cars, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? If we did that in scale, Menasor should be up to about here. Here he is with Giant. See how well that stacks up. And as you can see, they're actually pretty close to the same height. Giant is about half a head shorter. And then moving Superion over here. Here he is next to the Unique Toys Predaking, who, as you can see, is over a head taller. And this is where I want my combiner scale to be. I really like this. He is decent. That's all I can really say. He's decent. Robot mode kills it. Truck mode's good. Combine mode is questionable. Now the big question is, even though I'm not comparing him to the Fans Project Menasor, is he better than Fans Project Menasor? Yes and no. Yes, because he's a better toy. You can play with him more. He's easier to mess with. He's more fun to mess with. You don't have to sit there with instructions and 2 hours to put them together. But he's still fun to play with. So it's kind of a win or lose thing. And then the chest cavity will be open with a car sitting right there. So maybe that probably will make it look a lot better when it's all said and done. But there's a company coming out with a figure called Bad Wolf, who is a new core body here that's going to be a lot more cartoon accurate to the G1 in both truck, robot, and combine mode. So I will be picking that up. Now the Fans Project one, when it's combined, it looks great. It's an amazing figure. Great posability. It's awesome. I bashed it in the review. And if you're looking for just straight up looks, the Fans Project one is the way to go. If you're looking for more playability and just more fun, this guy's a much better figure. And also Scramble City, as you can see, I'm using 2 drag strips as arms and 2 Alpha Bravos as legs, and then I got the other set of jets over here on Superion until Wave 2 the Deluxes can come out. Once that happens, then I'll have a Menasor and Superion. So I'm excited for that. Because I'm actually getting 2 sets of each now. I haven't done that before, but I'm getting 2 sets of each so I can display them in robot mode and combine mode. So there you go. Menasor. I'm gonna overall rate him as an 8. Like I said, he's good. Proportions are a little wacky here, but the robot mode is just stellar, absolutely stellar. And yeah, if it wasn't for that, this being a little off, I would have probably given him a 10. But I do think he's a good figure. I do recommend him, and even if you have the Fans Project one, I still recommend picking him up because hell, it's $20. You can't really go wrong with a $20 toy, as opposed to $150 overcomplicated piece of junk. Not that I'm calling it a piece of junk, but you know what I mean. I mean, he was $150, way overcomplicated, and he's not fun to play with. So it's like 150, 20, 100, 20, 100. I mean, hell, the whole set is cheaper than he is. Let's see, 50. So you could actually buy like 2 sets of these guys for just about $20 more than him. And he's just one figure of this combiner. That's one thing you have to kind of weigh out when you're thinking about stuff like that. Or at least I do. So anyway, Motormaster. I think he's great. I mean, he's a little... like I said, he's kind of... in this mode, but the robot mode is just so killer, and he'll probably look better once I get the rest of the combiner or the cars on him and get the little car in the chest and maybe some new hands and feet. So we'll see how that turns out when it comes time for that. So yeah, there you go. Combiner Wars, Menasor, Motormaster, and Menasor.